This video is a follow-up to the one that I made on thinking like a project manager and how that can help you stress less. And so I'm going to link to that here. I don't know where it's going to fit in my screen, but anyway, I will link to that here. And if you haven't watched that yet and you're interested, you can check it out. But even if you haven't watched it, but you're interested in knowing kind of what this looks like in real life, I'm just going to do an example here. And for this example, I am going to use project management software. I find that is one of the easiest ways to talk about it, to just use project management software to organize your thoughts. But like I mentioned in that video, you do not have to sign up for project management software to think like a project manager and use this method. And honestly, for most tasks, you probably don't need to do it. The example that I'm going to be doing here, it is my process for making YouTube videos. And so that's something I do every single week. And so I thought it would be helpful to actually put it into something where I could refer to it every week and also just update things in real time as they change, as I want to add things or whatever. It's also going to make it easier down the line should I ever decide to bring other people into this process, because I will already have kind of an outline and a structure that I use that I can bring people into. But I'm a one-person team right now, and if the thing that you're trying to do is also just you, that is totally fine. You can still use this method. It helps you, like I mentioned in the video before, it helps you set up milestones so that you can check your progress. You can celebrate little wins along the way. It helps you take a more realistic approach in terms of like how long things actually can or should take. If you're the type of person who, like me, tends to like overemphasize your own ability to do things, it just makes big tasks less overwhelming because it helps you divide them into the little parts that you need to do and the order that you need to do them in. I didn't mention this in the other video, but I also feel like using this method helps you spot some potential roadblocks ahead of time. It also helps you gut check in terms of like if you are really intimidated by something that you're trying to do, it sometimes helps you figure out what exactly about that process is bothering you. And then once you know what's bothering you, you can either, process that, work through it, decide how important it is, and you may just be able to avoid it or outsource it or get somebody to help you with it. And so just using this method, there's a lot of different times that you may want to use it. Normally, I would say you don't want to do it for every single thing, but you do want to do it for something that is maybe overwhelming or has a lot of little parts that are dependent on each other. In my case, I'm also going to use it because what I'm doing is a repeatable task. And so sometimes when you are doing the same thing over and over every week, it helps to actually put together a little bit of a process so that you don't have to remember what you did every single time. So with that, let's get started on the example. Okay, so in this example, I'm going to be using Asana. There are a lot of project management softwares out there. I'm not trying to recommend any particular one, but Asana for me is one that I have worked with clients in the past, and I really like it. Partially because their interface is easy to use, and I'll be honest here, this is kind of superficial, but mostly because when you check a task off, sometimes you get like a little magical unicorn or narwhal or something. And I love that. I think it's amazing. So I use Asana. You can use a lot of the other ones that are out there. If you've heard of ClickUp or Trello or Monday or like any of those things, Notion, any of those will work. They all are a little bit different to use and they all have their own little quirks, but any of them will work for something like this if you want to digitize your process or just kind of get your thoughts all out there on something. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to be using Asana, but any of those will work depending on how your brain works. So I'm going to pull up Asana here. Okay, so we are here in Asana. And I'm going to just go ahead and click my Worthy Hours project. You can see that I have other ones here, but we're just going to go ahead and do that. So for my YouTube process, I'm just going to go ahead and add that as a task. So I'm going to write this. I'm just going to call it YouTube process. And now that I have YouTube process here, I can kind of open it and I can make some subtasks. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write first, come up with idea for video. This is going to be something that I can then duplicate for others. So I'm just going to use it in the singular tense. So come up with idea for video, outline, episode, film, use checklist, which I will add there, edit video, make thumbnail, write description, include links and cards. Okay, so that is the basic idea that I have to do. And I'm just gonna write, this is a template. We're going to add some details here with come up with idea for video. Current ideas, then add some ideas. Now let's see, I can just kind of transfer these ones that I have over here. What does healthy? And if you have ideas for videos too, go ahead and tell me, because I would love to add those to this list. Assuming, you know, of course it fits with what I'm trying to do, but I had some other ideas here. But maybe that was in my other notebook. Okay, then you get the picture. I can add a lot of ideas there. Then outline episode, you can put the outline here. Film, use checklist. I'm gonna go ahead and make a little checklist while I'm here. Okay. Make sure batteries are charged for camera, set up camera, turn on lights, check mic batteries, where get notes ready, press record on both camera and a crew. So then as you can see, I've got my YouTube process here. The nice thing about having it is that now it is easily duplicatable. So I can make a new task and I can say, like for the next one, I'm going to do what being sick can teach us. And obviously that is not what I'm going to call the video, but you see right there, now I have this and I can go ahead and go in. I can come up with the idea for video. That's done. Oh, look, there's a phoenix. I can outline the episode, then film using my checklist, blah, 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 go all the way through this. And for something like my YouTube process, it may seem like, wow, why do you need to write this down and put it in a project management software like Asana? And honestly, if I wasn't doing the example for this video, I probably wouldn't. It's extra time that I probably would just be spending outlining episodes or coming up with ideas. But the beauty of this system and what I'm really excited about is that this actually gives me a place to house all of my ideas. If I do something while I'm filming a video, for example, and I go, oh wow, I really have to remember that for next week, I can add it to the video recording checklist. If I have an idea, I have the Asana app, so I can pull out my phone and I can just add it. Instead of right now, all my ideas are either in my head or in various like notebooks that I have around the house. And so because this is a creative pursuit and because I am doing this myself, it is really helpful for me to have one central storehouse of information. But I will say that I probably wouldn't have done it quite as quickly if I hadn't wanted to use this as an example. Okay, so for this example, we kind of got through figuring out what actions we need to take, and I pretty much just put them in the order that they need to be done, because this particular process, I kind of think through, okay, like what do I do first? I come up with the idea, then I write the outline, then blah, 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 blah. So now we are to the point where I need to assign some deadlines. I need to think through exactly how long each of these steps is going to take, and I need to put a due date on it. So project management software makes that really easy to do, but so would a spreadsheet if you wanted to do that. So I am going to go ahead and do this for my next video. So as you can see, I've already come up with the idea for the video. I need to outline the episode. I can put the due date on that for today. I film these a bit in advance. So I need to go ahead and make sure that that is done. Film, I'm hoping to do that pretty soon. So let's say the due date on that is tomorrow. Edit, I'd like to do that by the end of the week. Filming usually takes me a couple of hours at most, and editing will take, twice as long. So we go ahead and we do that. We make the thumbnail. Honestly, I want all of this done by Friday. So let's just do that. And then the final step to thinking like a project manager is to assign deadlines and team members as needed. I went ahead and I did that already. So I went through and I assigned some due dates, but now I need to check and make sure that these are reasonable. So outlining the episode, I have pretty much done that already, to be honest. So having that done by today seems really reasonable. The amount of time I have left on that is probably about 10 minutes. Filming, that can take anywhere from 1 to 2 hours. And so hopefully I get that done today, but if I don't, tomorrow seems like a reasonable time. Editing the video, I would say that probably is going to take about 4 hours. Sometimes it takes a little bit less, but we'll go with 4. Having that done by Friday seems reasonable. I have 3 days to do it. Even if my filming gets pushed back till tomorrow, I should be able to get that done by the end of the day on Friday. Making the thumbnail, that takes 15 to 30 minutes. Again, that seems reasonable to do by Friday. Writing the description, again, reasonable to do by Friday. I think that's about 15 minutes for me normally. And including links and cards, which if I have everything that I need for that, usually takes about 10 minutes as well. So all of that looks good and we are ready. So I hope that video was helpful to you in organizing your own tasks. Let me know if there's an example of one that you would like to see me break down. I would be happy to show you, and I'd even be happy to try using other softwares. I'm familiar with Asana and I like how it is laid out. So it may take me a minute if you want to see another thing, but totally willing to try whatever. Just put your suggestions in the comments and I will see you in the next video. Bye.